Hello everybody, I'm Juno Fox, and today I am drawing in 10 different styles, all of which have horses, from these specific shows or ponies, and I'm going to put my pony Sona in all of these styles as a way to play around with it and just generally try out some other styles. Now originally in this one I feel like I made her a little too um, squished together, so I do elongate her body just a little bit later. But spirit style is the one of the first styles I learned how to draw in, and it was also my biggest point of reference as a kid. I used to pause the VHS tape. Yes, I'm old. I used to pause the VHS tape, and I would draw that scene over and over again while sitting on the floor in front of the TV. I didn't have a computer and at all, so I wasn't able to look up drawing tutorials. I just had to learn from what was on TV. I would pause shows and draw the scene that I could see. And I feel like that helped me out a lot. Unfortunately, I didn't have somebody to help me step by step, so I had to kind of learn understanding shape language and lines and movement and stuff like that all by myself up until I got to like high school, whenever my art teacher was kind of helpful, but he also hated me. He actually gave me an F for being too fast on a art test because I knew what I was doing and I got failed for it. But here is the Spirit Style one. Next, I move on to the Fairly Odd Parents one, which Fairly Odd Parents was made by Butch Hartman. Um, I'm glad he made my childhood so awesome. He's not a good person per se, but he did develop my childhood. And this is why I've got the silly, goofy ball, crazy hyper words they perceive to run away, silly hyper self that I do. I blame my problems on him. uh yeah, but I do I did really love this show. I don't know if it's still running. I think it is, but I think it's all new characters and stuff. I don't know if Timmy is still played by the same voice actor or not, but here we are. Now, I really loved how they always made the like little ponies and stuff like these like little squatty things. And the style isn't really too hard to replicate. The biggest problem I think I had was like the hooves when I first started. That was a little annoying, but here we are. Now, I noticed that all the unicorns, it kind of looked like there was just a big ice cream cone on the face, so I didn't want to like put a big ice cream cone on her face. I still wanted her to be cute, okay? But it is what it is. Growing up in the 90s to early 2000s, this is what you get. Now, I will say that the color palette is very like simplistic for my pony, except for the chimera pattern that's on her is probably the only thing that like makes her separate from a lot of things. But I didn't want her overly difficult, but I didn't want her overly complicated. But when I look back, I feel like I possibly made her a little complicated. So I've been debating on redoing her, and on the right side that you can see right now where the cutie mark is, I thought about just taking those two uh, black pieces on her hindquarters and underbelly just off because it just feels pointless. I don't know. You guys can tell me if you think I should remove it or if you think it's too me now. And this next one was G1 MLP. Now, I felt like I was struggling a little bit on understanding of the anatomy of the ponies that they created for G1. So I actually rewatched I think it was the Golden Horseshoes or something. It's one of the My Little Pony movies, and I remember that was my first introduction to MLP as a kid. I didn't see G3 first. Um, Sorry about all the ums. Yeah, I didn't see G3 first, but frick, there I go again. I did get to see G1 first. I never did see G2, so I can't really say anything about it, but I did enjoy G1. I thought it was cute. Um, try not to say but it's so hard not to. I really think that G1 was just such a good way to express that girls could have action in their shows, kind of like She-Ra. I don't remember much of Rainbow Bright. I do remember a lot of Strawberry Shortcake, which I debated on doing the Strawberry Shortcake style, but I just kind of decided not to. Now, if you guys want to see me draw like the main six, all like in a specific style that you see on here at some point, go ahead, totally give me that. And if you've made it this far, tell me about your like worst school experience. Was your teacher also terrible and fail you for being too fast on a test? Or did you say too many times like I just did in this one segment? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? But yeah, I really enjoyed G1. G3 was alright. I feel like the ponies lost a lot of ability to be individuals per se, whereas G4 really picked that up, and G4 is so iconic because of this. Everybody had a personality, there was a story, every character had something, there was development. I feel like, Fluttershy had development, but I don't feel like I've seen it as much. As same with Rainbow Dash. They both had development, but I didn't see it as much as I did, say, Rarity or Applejack or Twilight. Of course, you can argue with me on that. Everyone has their own opinion of it. But the older I got, the less I related to Rainbow Dash. The more I related to the generosity and love and taking care of my friends vibes from Rarity. Um, Frick, I'm doing the ums, guys. It just count how many ums I do. I'm probably gonna do like 50, 60 ums. That's a lot of ums. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed doing the G1 style, and I gave her three of the little cutie marks because I felt like it really played more into G1. So yeah, and I tried to give her like the different pieces of hair, and I kind of took a little bit from, I think it was Fizzy. Was it? It could be, no, Gusty. No, it was Fizzy. I'm just silly. Now, I did do G3 and I felt like I just struggled for some reason. I did this with absolutely no problem like 2 years ago, but this time I just kind of struggled with G3. I don't know why, and I just had to make her sitting down. I wanted to put all the ponies in like a collage at the end, so I wanted it to like make sense. And now I'm kind of like, but does it? Does it make sense? Did you do what you were expecting to? And I also kind of was not correct on the horn because it kind of goes diagonally down, but when you're up at 2 and 3 a.m. doing this, you don't fully have awareness of what you're doing. So if you do this, do it during the day. Test your ability on different styles during the day. Okay? Don't just stay up till 4 a.m. like I did and then do it. Now, I realized there was a lot of shading in the G4 like art box style, so I was like, I'm gonna do that. And I did almost think about not making it as detailed as I did, but I felt like if I didn't, it would take away from the vibe of G3 altogether. So here we are. Oh, also, since I'm here anyway, uh, I feel like there was a time, I don't feel like it happened. There was a time that I almost got kidnapped. It was a terrible time. It was a scary time. But me and my friend, we were on the lawnmower outside at my house. We were playing on it. Like it was one of those riding ones that my dad had. He had already cut the grass. He's like, sure, there's not much gas in it. Go ahead. And so we're outside. And mind you, I grew up in a trailer park. Okay, don't come for me. I am trailer trash. Let me be. But I grew up in a trailer park. And we were riding around on it. We were having fun. And then this like bluish SUV pulled up, and we're sitting there, we're sitting on the mower and we're looking at each other, and the window rolls down, kind of like creepy like, and I start getting this off vibe about this lady. She had like blonde hair, and she had her eyes were like kind of crazy. I don't know how to explain crazy eyes, but if you've seen crazy eyes, those are crazy eyes. And she was looking at me and she goes, oh my god, hi, so I would really like to talk to you girls. Could you guys get a little closer? And I'm like, no, we're gonna just stay right here because you're already getting a bad vibe. And So I looked at my friend, and when she looked at me, and we kind of nodded to each other, and I was like, you can tell us from right there. And she said, "Oh, well, I really was like wanting a babysitter for my child. They're in the car, but they're asleep right now. And I'd love to see about how much you guys would charge me to babysit." And she kind of like scooted kind of more onto the window with her like arms like crossed over in the window, the edge of the window on top of the door. And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead and tell me." And I looked at my friend and I said, "Go get my dad." And as she like runs in to get my dad and tell him what's happening, this lady, she she starts to like, I could tell she's like holding on to the handle of the door. And so I scooted a little bit back off the lawnmower seat and stood up. And she opened the door to come out toward me. And my dad ran out of the house and started yelling at her to leave, get the, uh, I'm not going to say it for YouTube, but words out of here. And she shut the door like really hard and sped off. And the thing was, the dude in the passenger seat, he was like kind of like sunken down, like staring at us. He's a real creepy dude. If you've ever seen a creepy dude, immediately that's what you want to picture in your head. That was the creepy dude. And after that, my dad would not let us play outside without him. Again, it was a little bit of a different time. We were out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, my trailer park was out in the middle of nowhere. There should have been nobody there. So kidnappings, they can happen anywhere. It doesn't just have to be in a public park or anything like that. It could be literally out in the middle of nowhere, which is honestly crazy. And to think if my dad wouldn't have came out at the time he did, or I wouldn't have been able to run fast enough, that's crazy. So please be aware of your surroundings. Even if you're an adult, be aware. Now, I don't really care for pony life. I think it's cute, but it's not, I don't really care for it. It's not a big thing to me. It's not my favorite thing, so. But I did actually enjoy drawing in the style. I think the style is cute. I think that the writing for it was a little, but the style was cute. I probably would have redesigned the ponies, and I was having trouble deciding if I wanted it to look like the like post art or if I wanted it to look like the show art. And then I just leaned more into like mixing the two. So with the eyes, I kind of just like mixed the eye style for both the show and the posting art for it. I'm saying it wrong, okay? Just let me be. But I thought she was cute. Added her to the collage, and then we move on to Lady Rainicorn. I This is probably the only one that I wasn't as happy with. I think it's just the way I posed her because I didn't want her to look exactly like the pose you see up top. But I probably should have went with this one that I originally did, but then I decided no and redid it and with a different version. But I didn't realize how much room she would kind of take up as a rainicorn. So that's my bad. If you've ever watched Adventure Time, I think the original language she speaks is Korean. Obviously, could be wrong, but I believe the original language she speaks is Korean before they put this color on her where we could understand her. So if you know that for a fact, let me know that I was right. And if you've made it this far, put like a unicorn emoji with Christmas tree. I don't know. I'm gonna have you guys keep doing that weird stuff. And then while you're doing that, I'm gonna like keep finding people that I'm gonna do like a raffle at the end of the year for like a Christmas like free art kind of thing. But I'm only gonna do it for like 2 or 3 people. We'll see. So, yeah, just if you've gotten this far, go ahead and do that. Don't tell anybody why. Just do it. And when they see it, don't let them question it. If they question it, be like, watch the whole video, okay? Tell them to watch the whole video. Send this to your grandma. Make your grandma watch the video. Your grandma might enjoy the video. She might not, actually, but she might enjoy the video. And then send this to your least favorite cousin and force them to watch it as well. Next, I did Centaur World. Centaur World, I really enjoyed the show. I literally cried when it ended. I did cry. And at first I was going to do horse as like her, war horse style. But then I was like, for a lot of the story, she was this little bubbly, bouncy pony. So I'm going to do that one. I don't think I did as good of a job, but I definitely could have done better. I feel weird that she didn't have eyebrows, and like after I did this, I was kind of like, I could have added the Gravity Falls unicorn, but I didn't. Here we are, which it's not a big deal. It happens, but maybe next time. Maybe if I go for like 20 styles or 40 styles. But I do plan on redoing the Equestria Girls, guys. I finally watched it. Boom, confetti, balloons, get them out. I know, I finally watched it. I liked it. I really like the story writing for it. I have nothing against it. The only thing I have against it is that and everybody agrees on this, the ponies all look the exact same in human form, and I get that they do in um My Little Pony form too, but still, those are ponies. They're supposed to. Humans aren't supposed to look that much alike. And yes, I did do the smiling critters from Puppy Playtime because I feel like I had to. I just had to. I did 3 of the MLP characters in this, and then I forgot to do the other 3. Also, in Equestria Girls, I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around. Why do the ponies, when they, like, power up, the Equestria humans, why wouldn't they power up, do, like, Rarity and, I forgot, Twilight. Excuse me. Why Twilight, they don't actually, like, get a horn and the other ones get wings? Am I the only one that's confused by that? If you're also confused, put a waffle down below with a broccoli. Why? I don't know. Just do it. Continuing on. If you could be anything in Poppy Playtime, what would you be? Why would you be it? Who would you be? Next. So, whenever I went to college, I chose a college that was only like um 2-3 years long, and shorter if you went to campus, but I was not about to go live in Florida for 2.5 years. Screw that. Sorry about the people in Florida. I don't like your state. I really don't. I tried. I gave it a chance. It was not a good time. Um, so yeah, I'll stay here in the South where I'm supposed to be. Well, you're also in the South, but like the bad part of it. Cause you guys got little swamp puppies sitting outside your house. I don't know if that's true. I could be wrong. I just don't like Florida. Continuing on. Everybody who's from Florida is gonna unfollow. No, stay. I promise. I'll give your state another chance. Okay. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Words lost me once I started making fun of Florida. Now, I love puppy playtime. I do. Um, but I wish there was more to it than just screaming. Because I tell you, whenever I played it, all I could do was scream. Everything was scary, especially the little smiling critters as little plushies crawling around on the floor to catch you. That was terrifying, to say the least. But in other news, I really enjoy drawing in the style, and I kind of wouldn't mind doing the other 3 in the smiling critter style. I also really love the nightmare critters. They're so cute, though. They're so freaking cute. Oh, I just want to do Flutterbat as like a nightmare critter. She'd be so cute. So yeah. Now, I did really enjoy this. This style is not hard to do. I think the only thing that takes people a minute to get used to is like that mouth. The mouth is kind of like it's the only thing to get used to, but just imagine like a boomerang or a banana. That shape will be basically what the mouth shape is. I'm sorry, I'm trying to explain it, and I'm an art teacher of all things. It's just hard to explain whenever you don't have like people sitting in front of you, basically. Now, sometimes you're gonna see the mouth move on my VTuber, and sometimes it won't. Again, I broke the stand for my phone, so yeah. But I had to put her little YouTube necklace and my phone. I felt like it made sense. It's me, okay? That's the problem. It's me. I was gonna do security breach, but then I was like, no. I'm gonna save this for a different video. I'm going to make the main 6 as security breach characters, so I opted in for wild mains. Now, whenever I do that, I've already done Pinkie Pie and didn't do the rest, but I will do it. And I am still doing the Helluva Boss ones. Uh, I'm not gonna record their art. I could, but that's a lot of time because it took forever, and that video would be like 4 hours long probably. But yeah, Wild Mains, I think it's cute. I wouldn't say it's something that I'm like, this is the greatest show on the planet, but I think it's cute. I think for me, it's just because the characters don't have as much difference in them, and the videos are very extremely short, and it kind of makes it hard to pay attention when they're that short. Now the style is cute. I like that it's basically MLP meets today's strawberry shortcake. For me, that's what it is. So I did actually really enjoy her as a Wild Mains character. It's so cute. I love her. I love her like this. And why did I do it? Because nobody else is going to. I'm making my own fan art in different styles. Oh, I'm lonely and sad. Moving on though. I realized that this one was like one of the only ones with the line work that was actually colored, and it was kind of fun. And I did an unboxing video to show the difference between like Unicorn Academy and Wild Mains, and I would definitely pick a Wild Mains toy over Unicorn Academy, and I hate that. I hate that so much. But the Unicorn Academy toys, they're just not fun. They're big, bulky. They sometimes make music, and the other ones don't even move. Like, I do enjoy that the Wild Moons is articulate. They can move their legs and stuff. You can pose them. It's fun. But I do like Unicorn Academy's story, so I'm hoping for more of that. Let's go. I also have another video that's going to come out, and it is Rival Stars based. So if you love that horse game, go watch it. If you don't watch it, I will leave a boiled bag of broccoli in your mailbox, and it will be terrible. It'll be a terrible time for both of us. So do that. You're going to watch that video after you watch this one, or maybe you're going to watch that one before you watch this one. I don't know, but it will happen. Now, we are at the point where I'm getting closer to 61K, and I am just want to say thank you to you guys. I don't think I could have got that far without you. I was almost going to give up. I was going to give up, and then you guys just came in clutch, and I was like, yeah. So if you guys want to be a content creator, don't give up. You've got people who are willing to watch your videos, and if you've made it this far, give me a black heart down below for the black hearts on my pony. Now, I want you to not be scared to be a content creator, but I want you to understand it is a lot of work. It is hard, and you're not going to make millions of dollars immediately. The ones who do are the ones who were super lucky and were able to do it. But I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do my best so that I can give us more content that is MLP based and infections and whatnot. If you prefer my infection art, let me know. If you prefer my just speed paints, let me know. If you don't like that I have ADHD, let me know. Because I do, and it is really prevalent. The last but not least was Helluva Boss. And I like Helluva Boss and Has Been Hotel. I think Helluva Boss is written better than Has Been Hotel, but I really like the idea of Has Been Hotel. Now, I've got to make the stance that I don't agree with Charlie really keeping Alistair around. He's never said that he's going to do really anything for her, but I know what he's doing is for the benefit of his own gain as a demon, and that's kind of fun and exciting and great. I'm excited to see it, but he hasn't really done much, in my opinion, in the way of what Lucifer could do for Charlie. Now, I gotta say, this is my absolute favorite one to do, and I really love that Vivzy Pop added all of these characters, and I'm happy that she made it. You may or may not like Vivzy. I really don't care. I just really like the shows and the characters. Do I agree with a lot of the design choices? Probably not, because everything looks the same, and the shape of the characters are all the same, and that becomes like really exhausting. So I thought about redrawing the Has Been Hotel characters, but redesigning them in Vizzy's style to give them more shape, more design, more personality, more distinction between themselves. For instance, I really like the characters. Okay, Alistair, I love him, but I feel like I don't get much of him being a demon to be scared of for his design, but I get that it's kind of to give him that radio feel. Now, nobody likes critiques on their designs, of course, but none of them are going to see this video. And if they do, hi, I love the story, but I do love it. It's just I feel like it could be written different, and I get it. I think it's because it's this first season of Has Been a Hotel. Maybe that's why. But just it's weird from the pilot, and people say, "Well, the pilot's not canon," but the pilot's canon. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's back and forth. It's really your own decision because it's your own opinion. And look at my by fire pony. Look at her. Eee, she's so cute. I love her so much. I didn't give her lashes. Should I have given her lashes? Probably not. I don't care. But yeah, I think she looks so cute. Oh, I just want to hug her. She's so pretty. This is my favorite one. I'm glad I saved this one for last and didn't do her first. Because, oh my god, look at her. I'm so proud of myself. I know I jumped from talking about Has Been Hotel and Helluva Boss, but again, amazing animations, and it gives way for more indie. So, fingers crossed, your girl's gonna try some indie animation as well. And here they are, a collage of all my beans. So go ahead and tell me down below which of these was your favorite. Which style was the best? Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, tell me that you made it this far. Bye-bye.